All right, good people. Today is the 29th. Okay, so here at the end of class, I wanted to try something new so I could help us focus just a little bit better. So I do want you to write what we learned at the end, and I will remind you to fill that in at the end of class, just so that I'm clear with what I'm doing with you to see if it's actually working or I need to change stuff. Please make sure that you write your first and last name at the top. Today, again, is the 29th. The This week we need to know our packet is due. We're going to answer the essential questions. We have homework. We have a quiz on Friday. Our quiz on Friday is writing equations. That's what we're going to be doing today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Even though I'm not going to be here, there's going to be a video that you're going to have to watch and do. There's an assignment on that day that is due that day. Okay, if you don't turn it in Wednesday, you get a 0. If you're here, it needs to be completed. I'm not going to give you extra time to complete it because it's not going to be that long. So you need to make sure that you do it on Wednesday when it is due. It will be a permanent 0, okay, because you jokers aren't doing the work when you're supposed to do it. All right, the agenda is on the board. We're going to do the weekly goal. My goal for you this week is just to make sure that you understand how to write equations. Yes, baby. Person one, go ahead. Please write in your math goal. These are the due dates here. I put those on the packet so that you don't forget them. You don't keep asking me over and over when is something due. I just put them all there. The essential questions are on the back. Describe how to write linear equations. We're getting ready to do today. You can write down the steps. That'll give you a hint as to what I'm looking for. Describe how to compare two functions in different representations. We're going to be comparing equations to tables, table values, to ordered pairs, and word problems. Okay? And then how do you compare linear functions? We're going to be doing the part of the question that we're going to answer is rates of change and y-intercept. Please write that down. I'm going to pause for the calls, all right? We're almost into February, which is Black History Month, so we're going to finish out the rest of the month. And your birthday, celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. And then, of course, there is a little bit of information down here that I do want you to read. The March on Washington, that is when he delivered his speech, I Have a Dream. And that's super duper important for the history of our country. I'm going to pause for the calls. You need your calculator. Take out your interactive notebook. Okay, your notebook should be in front of you. This is going to be page 2. Quarter 3, page 2. Person number 2. Here we're going to be talking about linear functions. We've already talked about finding the slope of a linear function. We're going to dive more into writing equations and linear functions, okay? So here we're going to be writing linear functions or equations. Please write. All right, a linear equation. We said this before. Linear equations or functions are equations or functions that graph straight lines. Linear equations / functions are equations or functions, and a function is where your x values do not repeat, that graph straight lines. Shh. Okay, so an example, we're going to do a couple examples. We're going to do 3 different examples. Shh. We're going to do an example of linear equations that are written. We're going to do an example where a linear function or equation looks like an equation, looks like a graph, or a table. Okay? All of these are going to be linear. Shh. All right, so we got y is equal to 2x plus 1. This graphs a straight line. Let's look at our calculator. We're going to clear our calculator at 2nd plus 712. Make sure your calculator is cleared. And we're going to graph it so that we can also prove that this is a straight line. Okay? This equation graphs a straight line. To graph this equation, you go to y equals.
Which one's the third column?
The third column? Graph. And table is the last one. That's actually the third one. Okay. All right. So we're going to type in the equation 2x plus 1. 2x is right here beside the green alpha button. And then we have plus 1. Hold it up so I can see it. Please follow along so that you're not lost. Stay seated. Yes. Shh. 3. All right, here we go. Now you're going to press graph. And do you see how this forms a straight line? So let's draw a little graph here. And we're going to label like we did before. This is my M. My slope is 2/1. This is rise over run. And this is my y-intercept. Please write it. Pause for the cause. Or paying attention. Please pay attention. Because all this information I'm giving you, you're going to need it to do the assignment today. All right, here we go. So now we're going to graph this so that it looks like this. What you know is that the line crosses at 1 on the y-axis. Then you also know that your rise is 2 and that your run is 1. So from here, put your point right here. And let's go up 2 and over 1. 1, 2, and over 1 time. Connect those points. But pause for the cause. Okay, so look. Remember, this ordered pair right here is 0 and 1. This ordered pair right here is 1, 1, 2, 3. Please write. Now let's view the table. How do you view the table, Miss Reyes? You press 2nd button and graph. 2nd and graph. These are your ordered pairs. These are some of them. Again, we have 0, 1. That's where we started. And we're going up by 2s. We're adding 2 every time. So the next ordered pair, when you add 2, is going to be 3. Add 2, that's going to be 5. Add 2, that's going to be 7, and so on and so forth. Any questions? These are linear. This is linear. It forms a straight line. This line is linear. So if you see a straight line, it's linear. This table is linear. Miss Reyes, how do you know this table is linear? Because this is going up by 1s. So your x values are going up by 1s. Your change in x is 1. This is change. How much is this going up by? How much is this going up by? 2. Your change in y is a positive 2. Okay? So if it's going up by the same number or going down by the same number, you already know that this is going to be a straight line. This is linear, this is linear, this is linear. Any questions about that? Shh. Pause for the calls. Equations. This is going to be an easy process, but you need to make sure that you are listening. It's going to be 3 simple steps. That's it. That's all. I'm going to pause for the calls because some of us aren't focused. The 3 steps, okay? Step number 1. When you are writing a linear equation, and remember, this is the answer to the essential question. The first thing that you are going to do is to find the slope. Sometimes the slope is given. Sometimes the slope is not. If the slope is not given, you have to use the slope formulas. You're either going to use rise over run, or you could use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. First step, find slope. Pause for the calls. Another word, of course, for slope is rate or rate of change. When it's a word problem, you're going to find the rate of increase or decrease when it's a word problem. If it's points, you can just say slope. But when it's a word problem, it's the rate that you're looking for. Step 2, you're going to find the y-intercept. Or starting amount. Sometimes it's called the initial value. Or the beginning point. All those are synonyms. If it's the y-intercept, you are going to figure out where the line crosses the y-axis. That is one way to try to find the y-intercept. See where the line crosses the y-axis. Wherever the line crosses the y-axis, that's the y-intercept. So if the line crosses the y-axis at -3, your B is -3. If the line crosses the y-axis at 7, your y-intercept is a +7. Pause for the calls. All right, here we go. So now when you're finding the y-intercept and they just give you points, okay, you are going to have to use the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And we already talked about the slope-intercept form right here, okay? This is the slope. Oh, I didn't write that down. Sorry, y'all. Slope-intercept form. This was from page 1. Please make sure you write slope-intercept form. Let me pause to give you a chance to go back and write that down. I said it, but I didn't write it. Sorry. All right, so now look. Here you're going to use the slope-intercept form. So another way, other than looking to see where the line crosses the y-axis, the other way to find the slope-intercept is to use slope-intercept form. And again, the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And I will show you how to do that, okay? Then we're going to do the last step. The last step is the easiest step. Shh, Don't do that, because I tell y'all every single time to leave that door open. All right, last step, number 3. Substitute. Substitute. When you find M, you're going to substitute the M that you found in step 1 and the B that you found in step 2 into y equals mx plus b to write your equation. So you're going to substitute a number for M and a number for B, and then you have an equation. I'm going to show you an example. Pause for the cause. All right, let me do an example. If you have enough space at the bottom, you can use the bottom. Of course, I don't have enough space because I have to write big enough for everybody to see. Here's your example. Shh.
Manny, chill out.
Shh, please. Write linear equation. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. This is still page 2, okay? Given 2 points. And we're going to use the 2 points from the example here up at the top. We're going to use these 2 points, 1 and 3 and 0 and 1. Shh. All right, remember, the very first step when doing this was to find the slope, okay?
Yes,
so the first step is to find the slope. We're doing this by steps, okay? Just to help you. So step number 1, find M. In order to find M, you're going to use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you were given a line, then you could use rise over run, but you don't have a line here, so you can't use rise over run, okay? All right, so let's label. This first point is x1, y1. Second point is x2, y2. Shh, please stop whistling. All right, here we go. What are we going to put on the top? What are we going to put on the top? What minus what? 0. No, what do we? 1 minus 3. On the bottom, what are we going to put on the bottom? Very good, babe. 0 minus this 1. So on the top we have 1. Thank you, babe. 1 minus the 3. What is 1 minus 3 equal? No. 1 minus 3. -2. Okay. What is 0 minus 1? -1. So let's reduce this completely. What's a negative divided by a negative? A positive. So this is going to be, M here is going to be 2. So we did the first step. M here is equal to positive 2. M is equal to, take care of this. Last one I'll give you. Okay? All right, here we go. M is equal to 2. Raise your hand if you're still writing. Shh. Step 2. What did we say step 2 was? Find the y-intercept. Find B. They do not give you a line, so you can't visually see where that line crosses. So you're going to do the second other part. Since you can't see this, look. Can't see where it crosses. So you're going to use the slope-intercept form to find B. All right. This is how you do that. Please do this with me. You're going to write M here is given, and you're going to choose one of those points. Which point do you feel like is going to be the easiest point to use?
0, 1.
I would do the same. So pick one of the points.
0, 1.
So you have the slope is 2 and you pick the point. This is x, this is y. Now you can use y equals mx plus b to solve for b, to find b. Using the information that's given, what can we substitute for y? Which one of these numbers is y? 1. Very good, babe. Bring down the equal. Which one of these numbers is m? 2. The operation between m and x is multiplication. So I'm going to put a dot for multiplication. Which one of these numbers is x? 0. And what's missing is the b. We're going to solve for b. So now, in order to solve for b, remember this is 1 here. You're going to multiply this first. What's 2 times 0? 0. So we got 0, babe. So we got 0 plus b. 0 plus b is just b. So b here is equal to just 1. Now you have m. Now you have b. Step 3. Substitute. We're going to substitute m and b into the equation. Okay? How do we write this equation? We got y is equal to what? What is my m? Somebody said it. 2. So we got 2x. And what's my b? What's my b? 1 plus 1. This is my answer. This is my equation. Pause for the cause. All right, good folks. Please put your first and last name on the sheet. This is period 3. All right, in your group, I need you to read over this. There are cards that are in your table, on your table. Please choose one of the cards so you can have a task today. Okay? Please choose one of those cards. Some of you have 3 people at your table are going to choose 2 cards. Some of you that have 2 people at your table, you're going to choose 2 cards. That is your job for today. I need you, I'm going to give you a minute to read over your job and choose the one that you want. All right, good folks. Now I need the reader to do the following. I need for you, the reader, to read over this, okay? Make sure everybody looks at it to make sure you understand how they got this. Okay, how they got this answer here. Read over this. Make sure you understand how they got that answer here. And then I need for you all to do these 2 problems here at the end. I'm going to give you some white paper. I'm going to give you some white paper to do these problems here, okay? This is what I want you to turn in for today. Just the front part of this page. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, let's do it, please.
Okay.